Chosen one, what I'm about to tell you will change your life for good. If you're watching this video right now, it's not by chance. God brought you here for a reason, and what you're about to hear is a message from God to change. From now on, you don't have to fight. Your money problems are about to end because God is taking over your wealth and prosperity. The plenty you've been praying for is coming, and those who mocked you for missing out will see that God is revealing your wealth. This is your time, and nothing will stop the blessings that are already coming your way. But before we go any further with this powerful revelation, I need you to do 3 things. If you want to help us get to 20,000 subscribers, click the like button and leave a message with the number 99. If you are truly a chosen one, you will stay with me until the end, because your spirit already knows this truth is for you. Get ready, because your life is about to change in ways you can't even imagine. There comes a point in every journey where the struggle stops and the blessings begin for those chosen by God. The responsibility of wealth no longer falls on your shoulders. It is now His duty. The Creator of the universe, who has planned every moment of your life, has promised you an endless flow of abundance. This is not just a wish or hope, it is a divine promise. Your wealth doesn't come from your hard work or sweat, but from God's unwavering commitment to keeping His promises. Imagine a river that consistently replenishes itself, regardless of the extent of depletion. That's how God's provision works for you. Not because of your hard work, but because He has promised to make you rich forever. This divine responsibility shows how committed He is to keeping His promises. God has promised to provide, so stop struggling and start trusting that He will. You can rest easy, knowing that your needs are met. You are no longer subject to the unknowns of life. You are walking in the certainty of His provision. Your riches are a reflection of His love for you. And as you embrace this truth, you will experience a peace that goes beyond understanding. This peace is not just in the abundance you will receive, it is in knowing that your future is safely in His hands. The moment you accepted your divine calling, your life changed. You went from struggling to being provided for by God. You no longer need to exhaust yourself due to fear of the unknown and lack. From now on, you will live in the wealth of God's promises. God's kindness and favor have transformed what seemed like an endless ascent into a smooth descent. When you step into this divine abundance, it's not just about money. It's about an overflow that affects every part of your life, including your relationships, health, and purpose. Wealth isn't just having money, it's living the full life that God wants for you. When you accept this truth, you'll feel the peace and joy that come from being divinely blessed. It will completely change the way you think and feel. You were chosen for greatness by God's perfect will, not your strength or skills. The struggle is over. What's waiting for you now is divine abundance that goes beyond anything you've ever imagined. Trust in this new reality and allow the weight of past struggles to fall away. This is your time, and it's time to receive what has always been yours in God's eyes. Confidence is not born from self-reliance, but from knowing that you are supported by a power greater than yourself. When you embrace the confidence of divine provision, you move through life with an unshakable assurance that everything you need will be supplied. You are no longer unsure about the future. You are assured of God's unfailing goodness and His commitment to fulfilling His promises in your life. Think of the confidence of a child who knows that their parents will always provide for them. This child doesn't worry about where the next meal is coming from or whether they will have a roof over their head. This is the kind of confidence you are invited to embrace as you step into the abundance God has set aside for you. This same trust and security will fill your heart, making every step you take easier, lighter, and filled with peace. It means having faith in God's timing and ways, even when the way ahead seems uncertain. When you know that God is your provider, you can let go of the stress that comes from trying to control every outcome. You can now live in the confidence that God's plan is always perfect, and it's unfolding for your good. You will no longer have to work tirelessly to meet your financial needs. From now on, wealth is God's responsibility. Your only task is to align with His will and trust in His timing. The more you let go of trying to control your financial future, the more room you create for God to do miracles in your life. This is not a passive attitude. It's an active faith that believes that as you step forward in obedience, God will open doors of prosperity that you could not have imagined. If God is able to do such amazing things, then He made the universe and spoke the stars into existence. He certainly has the means to meet all of your needs. In fact, God can handle anything, even the money and resources you need to complete your mission. As you accept this truth, you will start to see how everything works together to give you what you need, exactly when you need it. When you realize that God is in charge of your wealth, you won't have to worry about how you'll make it happen. Instead, you can focus on trusting Him and doing what He wants you to do. When God is in charge of your prosperity, you can expect more than enough to live abundantly and impactfully. It's time to get rid of any doubts you may have about your financial future. God is not a liar, and everything He says is true. You can trust Him to help you live a rich life if He told you to. You can reach your goals, and your dreams are not too big for God. In the spiritual world, what seems impossible in the physical world has already been done. God's plan for you includes a wealth that surpasses even your most ambitious dreams, leaving no room for doubt. Many people struggle with financial success because they think it's only for the few, or that people are somehow special. You are not deserving of great wealth, but you have been picked up and are meant to be great. The wealth that awaits you isn't just for your own good. It's also meant to help you fulfill your role on earth, whether that's to build something that changes the world or help other people. The world's God will make sure you have what you need to do it. As soon as you get rid of something from your mind, magic can happen. The more you think about God's promises, the more they come true in your life. God did not intend for you to live in poverty or hardship. What is in God's plan for you? You will have plenty of money, and it will flow to you in ways you never thought possible. Forget your doubts and believe that God is about to make you a millionaire. Knowing that God will provide gives you a sense of peace, security, and assurance that nothing in this world can take away. When you know that your needs will be met, you can live with joy and freedom, without fear or worry. This knowledge changes the way you look at life, letting you act with confidence, knowing that God's provision is always just a step away. This is not a blind faith, but a faith based on experience and God's promises. Think about all the times He has provided for you in the past. God has answered every prayer and performed every miracle. Those events weren't accidents, they were divine provisions, and they show that God will continue to provide for you. The more you think about this truth, the stronger it becomes as a life foundation. When you know God will provide, you can move forward with confidence. The Creator of the universe has already planned out your life and made a way for you to succeed. With this knowledge, you can face any challenge knowing that God's provision will see you through. As you step into your divine abundance, others will doubt or mock your success. But that's not your concern. What other people think or say does not affect what God has promised you. No one can take away your wealth. It's proof of God's faithfulness. When God blesses you, no one can curse you. It's easy to give up when people make fun of your dreams or your success. But remember that God holds your future, and if He speaks prosperity over your life, no one can change that. Your wealth and success serve as indicators of God's favor, demonstrating His capacity to provide even in the face of doubt or ridicule. Rise above the noise and keep your eyes on God's promises. The blessings you are receiving are not just for you. They are a declaration of His goodness and power. As you rise above the noise, your abundance will speak for itself, drowning out any opposition along the way. God's plan for you is not a short-term fix, but an eternal richness that will last for generations. This divine prosperity is not something you have to constantly chase after. It comes to you as you walk in line with God's will. The work you need to put in is not about striving or struggling, but about trusting and obeying. When you do that, the riches will follow. The world tells you that success comes from hard work and relentless effort. Resting in God's provision and trusting that He will bring more is His plan for you. When you live in harmony with His purpose, your life will be full of blessings, and you'll be able to receive everything He has promised without working too hard. This kind of divine provision is the ultimate freedom. You no longer have to live in fear of lack or worry about where the next blessing will come from. Your life is a reflection of God's plan for eternal richness, a wealth that goes beyond what the world can offer. This is God's best for you, and it's time to fully embrace it. As you step into the abundance God has promised you, remember that with great wealth comes great responsibility. This responsibility is not a burden, but a privilege. You are now in a position to make a difference, to impact lives, and to leave a legacy for future generations. Your wealth is a way to further God's kingdom and to help others experience the same blessings you've received. When used correctly, wealth has the power to heal families and spread love in ways that nothing else can. This is the true power of divine prosperity, not money or lifestyle. It's about the lives you can touch and the good you can do in the world. As you accept this responsibility, your wealth will take on a deeper meaning, and you will find true fulfillment. The law of abundance says that the more you give, the more you will receive. You should share your divine wealth. Using your wealth to help others and grow God's kingdom will repay you. You were chosen to use your wealth for a higher purpose, and you will enjoy making a lasting difference. This is the continuation of the script, which goes into more detail about the next headings when you start to experience divine richness. God's promises are not empty words. They are solid, unchanging truths that never fail. Entering His abundance brings material wealth and a deeper understanding of His love and loyalty. Every blessing you receive shows how God's character hasn't changed and how much He wants you to succeed. Think about the times in your life when God came through for you. Maybe it was when you felt completely helpless and He found a way to help you that you could never have imagined. Maybe it was the little things that happen every day that show He's always with you. Divine richness includes both big wins and steady provision that proves God's reliability everywhere. When you realize that the wealth you're experiencing isn't your own doing but a gift from God, your heart is filled with gratitude and awe. It changes your focus from striving to receiving, from effort to grace. If you accept God's abundant life and believe that everything you have is because God kept His promise, divine riches will flow into your life now and forever. However much people criticize your success or newfound blessings, they can't change what God has blessed you with. Judgment or ridicule can damage your wealth. No one can stop what God has planned for you once He has put His blessing on your life. The beautiful thing about divine abundance is that it's not about proving people wrong. It's about fulfilling the purpose that God has for you. Your success and wealth will speak for themselves, and those who mocked you will be amazed by God's work. They will realize that it was never about your skills, but about God's favor. and your success will become proof to them of God's goodness and power to change lives. Remember that people who criticize are often speaking from insecurity or a lack of understanding. Their opinions don't really matter. Describe your world. As you walk in the fullness of God's blessing, you will see that the mockers fade away, leaving only undeniable proof of God's favor in your life. Experience life as it should be, abundant, peaceful, and devoid of lack when you live in the fullness of God's provision. This isn't just a surface-level experience, but a deep, all-encompassing state of being. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. God has made provision for your income, relationships, health, and dreams. The fullness of God's provision doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of growing in faith and trusting Him more. As you continue to grow in faith, you will see more and more proof of His care for you. You will see miraculous breakthroughs, doors that open on their own, and chances that seem too good to be true but are real because God is faithful and has planned a life of fullness for you. This fullness isn't about having everything you want. It's about knowing that God will give you everything you need and more. When you live in the fullness of His provision, you don't have to worry about running out of things. You can face each day with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that your Creator is walking with you and providing for you in ways that you can't even imagine. This is the life God has called you to, one of peace, plenty, and happiness. When you venture into wealth, you're not embarking on a significant journey into the unknown. Instead, you're embarking on a journey filled with the assurance that God is always by your side. Divine assurance means being sure that everything you need to succeed is already on its way to you. You can move forward with complete confidence, knowing that God has already gone ahead of you. This assurance gives you the courage to take bold actions that are in line with God's will for your life, whether it's starting a new business, investing money, or seizing a new opportunity. You can do these things without fear because you know that God is not only with you, but also making a way for you. His plans for your success are already in motion, and it's up to you to step into them. When you walk in God's favor, wealth comes naturally. If you're true to Him, it shows up without effort. As you trust Him to provide for you, you'll start to see how everything fits together perfectly and according to His divine plan. Your wealth is more complex than it first appears. Everything is a strong sign of God's steadfast duty to take care of His chosen ones. Every blessing and resource that comes into your life is proof that God is keeping His promise to you. It's living proof of His faithfulness and a reminder to the world that His word can't be broken. As you live in your divine wealth, you're setting an example for others. They will look at your life and see undeniable proof that God is real and that He keeps His promises. People will trust Him more because of your success and think that He can also provide for them. Your life turns into a beacon of hope, showing us what can happen when we believe that God will take care of us. This testimony isn't just for today, it's for future generations as well. The wealth you receive will have a long-lasting effect, changing the course of your family and community for years to come. Your legacy will be one of faithfulness, plenty, and the undeniable truth that God always keeps His promises. God has selected you for greatness, and you don't have to earn it. It's a gift. All the struggles, hardships, and setbacks of the past are now behind you. It's time to let go of any negative thoughts or memories that may be holding you back. Your past doesn't define you. God's plan for your life does. The path to greatness is not easy, but it is also full of divine help. Freeing yourself from your struggles allows God's blessings to enter your life. God has reserved greatness specifically for you. Accept your divine calling and step into the greatness that God has planned for you. You are no longer limited by the things that happened in the past. and you can walk boldly into the future that He has planned for you, a future full of wealth, purpose, and a life that shows His glory. It is now your time to rise, and nothing can stop you. Divine wealth isn't just a one-time thing. It's a promise that never ends. It's a blessing that flows freely and constantly. It's not limited by human limits. As soon as you accept this promise, you'll be able to draw from an endless source of wealth. God has promised to give you everything you need and more. Think of how big and full of life the ocean is. That's how God's provision works in your life. It's an uncountable, endless resource that never runs out. As you lean into this divine promise, you start to see that there are no limits to your success and no roadblocks to your progress. The good things that happen to you today are just a small part of the plentiful riches that God has prepared for you. Every moment is a chance for more to come into your life. Living in divine wealth means that you are not limited by the world's systems of lack and scarcity. God's kingdom is based on abundance and overflow. As a child of God, you and others share an inheritance. Your prosperity should radiate and profoundly impact your community, your family, and the entire world. Living a life of emotional, spiritual, and physical provision is the essence of this divine wealth. God's wealth touches every part of your life and makes you better in ways you can't even imagine. Because His wealth has no limits, your potential is truly limitless. Today, accept this fact and let it overflow. So, when you fully accept the glory of God's provision, you start living a life that is much better than you thought it would be. Your once unattainable goals suddenly become achievable, and your aspirations transform into genuine blessings. God provides more than just meeting your needs. He provides you with a life filled with immense meaning and satisfaction. We often put limits on ourselves based on what we think we deserve or what we think is possible. But when we let go of these thoughts and trust that God can provide, we open ourselves up to a world of blessings we could never have imagined. God doesn't just want to meet your needs. He wants to bless you abundantly so you can bless others. His provision aims to propel you into your destiny, surpassing your personal plans. This abundance isn't a coincidence. It's a direct result of aligning yourself with God's will for your life. The more you trust Him, the more doors and chances He opens for you that are better than you could have imagined. Whether it's a breakthrough in your finances, a promotion at work, or emotional growth, God always gives you more than you think is possible. He is a God of plenty, and your extra shows how powerful He is. The real glory of God's provision comes when we stop trying and start trusting. Giving up our plans and doing what He wants yields better results than we could have imagined. It's a life full of surprises, blessings, and joy that makes your faith in His goodness and provision grow. As you enter a new season, the gifts you've been waiting for will start to come to you naturally and supernaturally. This is not a time of lack or struggle, but of plenty and supernatural provision. Aligning with God's plan for your life will result in a seemingly spontaneous flow of gifts. God is directing events, creating opportunities, and bestowing blessings in a manner that only He can. The supernatural flow of blessings isn't just about money. It's about getting favor in every part of your life, from your relationships to your health to your purpose. God will bless the whole trip you take. Realizing and living in abundance can lead to a supernatural outpouring that impacts every aspect of your life. Consider how rivers carry everything in their path and infuse life into everything they encounter. This is how God's blessings will flow in your life. As you open yourself up to receive them, you will see that they are not just for you, but meant to overflow into the lives of others. You are a vessel for His goodness, and as you step into this flow, your life becomes a living testimony to His grace. Breathe deeply and remember that the gifts you are about to receive are already on their way, because you are walking in obedience to God. Trust the supernatural flow of God's blessings will carry you to heights you never thought possible. This is the season of divine provision and abundance. Step into it fully and let it transform every area of your life. The journey to divine wealth is paved with unseen doors of opportunity that God is ready to open for you. These doors are not visible to the naked eye, but when you walk in alignment with God's will, He will reveal these opportunities at the right time. The path to prosperity isn't always clear at first, but when you trust God, He will lead you to the doors that will change your life forever. There are opportunities waiting for you that you could never have planned or imagined on your own. It may be a job offer, an investment opportunity, or a partnership that seems to come out of nowhere. But these doors are not random, they are divinely orchestrated. God is positioning you to receive, and these opportunities will not only bless you, but will equip you to bless others as well. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. He went through trials and challenges, but God used those very circumstances to open doors of opportunity that led to his rise in Egypt, just like Joseph. The doors of opportunity in your life are often preceded by moments of testing, but God's hand is always guiding you if you remain faithful and trust in His timing. He will open doors that lead to wealth, success, and purpose. Believe that behind every problem there is a divine chance for you to walk through it. If you stay strong in your faith, those chances will appear, and you will enter a future full of endless prosperity. God is constantly orchestrating events for your benefit, and His plan surpasses any imagination you may have. True wealth is not about accumulating wealth for the sake of luxury or status, but about utilizing your wealth to positively impact the world. God has a much bigger plan for your wealth than you do. As you walk in divine abundance, He will show you how to use your resources to help others, which will further His kingdom and help you fulfill your higher calling. Your wealth is meant to be a force for good, a way to help and serve others in ways that show God's love and kindness. Every dollar you get and every resource you have is a chance to make a difference, whether it's by giving to a good cause, helping someone in need, or putting money into a project that furthers God's mission. You should share your money with others. God doesn't just bless you to help you. He also blesses you to bless others. Giving more means getting more, because God rewards those who use their money for His plans. When you use your money to change the world, you'll find that your life has new meaning. It's not just about getting more stuff, it's about fulfilling the divine purpose you were created for. Real wealth brings happiness and peace because it's in line with God's will for your life. Your blessings, as part of a larger plan, serve a purpose greater than yourself. This kind of wealth changes not only your life, but also the lives of others. It's a wealth that grows as you use it for good. The more you help others, the more God will bless you, starting a cycle of plenty and impact that will last for generations. His timing is perfect, and when you align with it, you can access the seasons of wealth that He has planned for you. There may be periods when nothing seems to be happening, but suddenly blessings begin to pour in. This is the result of divine timing. When you're in the right place at the right time with the right attitude, everything falls into place. God knows the time of year. There are times to wait, sow, and get ready.